The best fight card we've ever seen, but who was your favourite fighter? Watch this video. Hello, welcome to Eds, and I hope you're all well. So, a great night of boxing, the best fight card we've ever seen. And right from the very top, working down, there's some great matchups here. But Bivol, Beterbiev. Look, in the first fight, I thought it was Beterbiev's fight. I thought he won it, and lots of other people sort of changed their minds. First of all, I had it Bivol, then he went Beterbiev. But I've always said, right from the very fight night, eyes on, the way I scored it as well, always had it as Beterbiev. This time, I had it completely the other way around. From eyes on and the way I was scoring it, I always had it Bivol. Yeah, Bivol took a couple of early rounds, but then I thought Beterbiev really took over a little bit, stepped it up, came into it, started to take over, and I thought, well, if Bivol doesn't do something here, he's going to lose it. But he came back in, let's say, the fifth, sixth round especially, and then into the seventh, and he started to really sort of come back. It was more even those rounds, and it was a hair, and that's hair between the both of them. Let's face it, these are the two absolute brilliant, best boxers that we've got, I would imagine, really. And then Bivol took over, really, and then he had a couple of quieter rounds, but then he had a couple of really impressive rounds. But Beterbiev seemed to drop off the pace a little bit, you know, 0.5%, as it were. But look, I thought the result was fair. I thought the scoring was fair-ish. About the scoring, I got to say, throughout the night, I think for the most part, all the fights went the right way in terms of the overall decision. Apart from the Shiraz fight against Damas, I just didn't think that was, you know, he was lucky to get away with that, Shiraz. You know, I thought he lost the fight. But overall, there were about two or three fights where you had two judges who had their kind of scorecards there or thereabouts in the right ballpark, let's say. But then you had one that was just way out, you know, like 119, 110, it was something like that. And it was just like, what are you watching? What are you seeing? Even the Shiraz fight, you know, one had it as a draw. And I was going, what are you seeing here that makes you think that that was a draw? But anyway, listen, I thought the Shiraz fight, great fight, and I really enjoyed it, but I thought he lost the fight. Shakur Stevenson, my mind doesn't change about Shakur Stevenson at all. I just don't enjoy watching him fight. I just don't think he brings the fight. However skilled he is, however fantastic as a fighter he is, no doubt, I'm not denying that. I just don't think he brings that entertainment. I just don't think he brings it. And you know, the boxing fans in the United States, they kind of boo him when he fights, all the last couple of times he fights as well. So he's not well regarded in terms of delivering a performance or an entertaining performance. And against Josh Padley, who stepped in at 4 days' notice against Schofield, who had to pull out, you would have think, you know, you would have put on a real show here. But he didn't. But then again, all credit goes to Josh Padley in there to get in there, and you've got some stones, son, absolutely. And you know, you've done yourself a lot of favors there. Yes, you're not at the level. Yes, you could argue you should never have been in there in the first place. But at the same time, you went in there and you went 9 rounds as well, and you know, you held your own, and you know, did what you had to do. So you know, for him, great. But for Shakur Stevenson, you know, I'm kind of, I don't really need to see him fight. I know that sounds harsh, but I just don't need to see him fight again. Okay, Joseph Parker against Martin Bakole. If you watch my channel right from the very start, I've always been going on about Martin Bakole, how great I think he is, undersung hero or undersung fighter, you know, very much underestimated, one that actually, you know, they don't want to fight him. He can't get decent fights. But I think this was just a bad mistake for him to take the fight. Now, even before the fight, I was definitely thinking this. It's a 2 days notice. You're just coming in to fill a hole. You're not prepared. You're not in camp, really. And your weight does balloon up. So that's something you've got to look at your own professionalism about as well. But for him, his team, the promotion, it was more of an opportunity cash grab rather than a real opportunity to do something. And, you know, this is not taking anything away from Joseph Parker because he did exactly what he had to do. But in the first round, I thought, you know what? Martin Bakole looks dangerous. If he catches him right with those uppercuts, which he was flying in there, and those short hooks as well, you know, Joseph Parker is going to be in real trouble here, but he wasn't. And, you know, they were kind of duking it out 50-50. I thought it was a 50-50 round. Possibly I would have sort of edged it slightly towards Martin Bakole in the first round. But then the second round, you know, he caught him with that right hand on the top of the head. and just completely his legs went and everything. I thought the ref stopped it too much. I'm not sure if the corner, gave the nod to the ref and say no, throw in the towel and all this sort of stuff. I'm not sure what he's actually seeing there in that moment, but I thought he could have gone on just a little bit. But at the same time, it's a fair decision from the referee, because you've got to acknowledge he hasn't been in camp. He's coming in 2 days' notice. He's had a 14-hour flight or something. So for me, it was, whilst on the face of it, I didn't think it was the right decision. Actually, it is the right decision, because he shouldn't have been in there in the first place. I think that Bicoli move to get into the ring was a bit of kind of career suicide a little bit. It's almost like they've got to give him a bone now. They've got to give him something just for getting into that ring. He's going to get money, okay, but he needs to get another opportunity where he has a proper camp. Frank Warren was coming out afterwards saying, well, Bicoli's never really shown it. I mean, that's a load of bollocks, you prat. Of course he's shown it before. Of course he showed it against Jared Anderson when he completely demolished him last August or whatever it was in the United States and the LA fight card. So he's got it. He's definitely got it, and nobody wants to match up with him because they know how dangerous he is. And the power, the natural raw power is there. He's just got to sort out his weight. He's got to just sort out his stamina, athleticism. And definitely, this is note for all boxers. Yeah, you can take in these short notice fights. Of course you can. But not if you're out of shape, not if you're out of camp. If you're constantly in camp and constantly in shape, then you could say, okay, yeah, I might chance it. But something like Martin Bicoli, I thought was a bad move. But look, that's by the by. I thought it was a decent win from, Joseph Parker. But again, he kind of, where does he go now? Who does he fight next? So there's so many questions to be asked there. Who are the other fights? Madrimov against Virgil Ortiz. I thought it was a great fight, cracking fight. Really enjoyed it. Technically, I really enjoyed it. And Virgil Ortiz, all the spoils go to him. Fantastic there as well. But for me, the fight of the night. Well, there are two fights tonight. Okay, Callum Smith against Joshua Buatsi. To kick it off after the couple of prelim before the bell fights with the two Saudi lads as well. They were decent as well, but. That fight, Joshua Buatsi against Callum Smith, they're just going for it right from the first bout, and it was just a great entertaining. Take a leaf out of their book, Shakur Stevenson, because, they're putting it on the line. They're delivering a performance, and they're just saying, no, you know what, we're just going to go out there and give it our all. Fantastic from Callum Smith as well. And Joshua Buatsi, it takes two to tango, but I thought Callum Smith, the right decision and the right win. Again, couple of scores here and there, I thought, not too sure about that. And then the last fight, I should say, that I thought actually was the best fight for lots of different reasons. And again, if you watch my channel from the very start, I've always been going on about Agit Kabayel, or Agit Kabayel, however you pronounce his name. And I just thought he was, again, he just went to the body, went to the head, went to the body. Yeah, he got knocked down in the fifth. But his game plan worked. Just when he fought Makhmudov as well in the first Riyadh season fight card, he just went to the body and totally destroyed him. This is exactly what he did against Zhili Zhang. He knew he wasn't going to be able to have the stamina to last past 5-6 rounds anyway. If he could really get to the body, really hurt him without getting clocked himself. Yeah, and it worked. It worked an absolute treat. To Agit Kabayel, I'm telling you what, as with Martin Bicoli, if he got a full camp, I'm convinced of giving him a full camp, he would be a serious threat, even though I think he's committed to career suicide a little bit. But Agit Kabayel, no, he's done everything right. He's just gone in, whoever's put in front of him, he hasn't said a word. He's just gone in there, business, right tactics, right attitude, right talent, and certainly power and mobility. Everything about this guy says, he deserves a shot at something big now, a big fight next. And I hope he really gets a big fight next. I'm not saying he goes for Usyk right now. I'm certainly not even saying he goes after Daniel Dubois right now. But I'm saying, a big fight with a big name for big money. I think he deserves it in the next fight. And thereafter, if he comes through that, definitely he should be number one. Well, he is sitting number one in the WBC rankings anyway, isn't he? So, he's right up there for me, Agit Kabayel, in terms of delivering performances and just being a great joy to watch. And if you love your tactics, which I do, I just thought he got it absolutely 100% right. You know, was Zhili Zhang was dangerous, and that left hand came across and it, you know, caught him, and quite a few times actually he stood up to it for the most part. One, you know, obviously he got floored by it, but you know, he's still dangerous. But we know that Zhili Zhang, he's only got a few rounds in him and then he's going to gas out, and that's exactly what happened. Overall, I thought the night was fantastic. Overall, I thought some of the judging was, you know, right on point, but there was a couple of scorecards here and there I thought, oh, I'm not too sure about that. You know, overall, all the performances were great. Certainly big hat off to Josh Paddy getting in there as well. And big praise to Agit Kabayel for me. But obviously, we're going to be talking about Beterbiev and Bivol. You know, again, another fantastic fight to watch. Brilliant. And for me, Saturday was complete because West Ham had already beaten Arsenal as well. So at Arsenal, and that was it started off fantastic, and the end and the night just went on, and it was just a great night of boxing. Can't wait for more. Can't wait for these big fight cards, because this is where we're at. And what it does, it trickles down to the other fight cards as well, that, you know, the other promoters put on in domestically and in other places as well. And it just makes those better as well, because everybody just wants to get to that top table, and I just think it's absolutely fantastic. But let us know your thoughts in the comments below on the fights, on the performances, on the wins, on the overall decisions, and on the scorecards as well. But overall, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. A fantastic night of boxing. And give me more, please. Give me more. If you like what I do here, just keep on watching the videos, and I'll catch you again. Bye now.